It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Quickly. Yeah. Okay. Whew. Wow. That was an unusual technical issue for me. I hope that I am in fact live and you can hear me. Let me check over. Mike, Dennis, Steve, you guys can hear me, I assume, once I got that fixed. If one of you could drop a comment in as to whether or not you can see me and hear me. Somebody. Loud and clear. Thank you, Steve. Hi, Katie. Hi, Gretchen. Hi, Mike. Hi, Dennis. Okay. Well, that's a little throwing things off on a kind of a wrong foot to start things with this morning. All right. Welcome to Monday Travel and Cruise Industry News. As I'm back in the studio on May the 15th, 2023. I'm so busy. Unbelievable that I just completely ran out of time. All right, the headlines this morning, the main story today, of course, is main story for Hot Air Tom and me more than anything. Not really Hot Air Tom, because he can't stand Carnival, but Carnival Magic repositions to Norfolk. And we're going to have actually home porting in Norfolk now for a while. Princess names their next ship. An inspiring address from the Carnival president. We got port traffic backup at Southampton. A hull cleaning causes alterations. The Zuiderdam concludes its world cruise. And Marella discovery in Port Canaveral, but don't get your hopes up. That and lots more live here at 11 o'clock this morning. Again, my apologies for the technical glitch there as the show went live. So part of that was my fault. Part of it was technical stuff. And that's my housekeeper coming in. I hope the door's open for her. Yeah, it is. All right, today is National Chocolate Chip Day. Man, that's a perfect holiday for me. Those of you that know me know that I am quite a fan of chocolate chip cookies and the like, anything with chocolate chips. But so anyway, today's National Chocolate Chip Day. If you're listening via the podcast, welcome aboard. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or it's available wherever you get your podcast from. All the big guys. TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Pandora, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. That would be me. If you're listening via the podcast and ever want to jump over and see what I'm doing in the way of clips or pictures or interviews or any of those kind of things, there's always a link in the description to take you to the video feed. All you do is click on it. All right. I do have a couple of things to cover before we get to the news portion of the show. First off, tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Pete and I are going to do a follow-up to our announcement of my next hosted cruise, which will be December 2nd from Port Canaveral on the Escape, Norwegian Escape. So you might want to join us for that. If you're interested, fine. If not, that's fine too. You might just want to join us for some fun. I'll probably be talking quite a bit about the hosted cruise I just got off of and what I thought of that and some of the things we did. But most importantly, especially if you're solos, it's a really good deal. So if you're possibly interested in a solo cruise and you're interested in a good deal on a solo cruise, come join us. Come join us if you might at some point in time be interested in hosted solo cruises and what it's all about. We are clearly opening some eyes. Passions for Cruises opened some eyes in Europe. And now we're starting to open some eyes over here on this side of the pond. And I think over the next little bit, you're going to start seeing a lot more posted in the way of solo cruises and more hosted cruises posted as well. So just saying, if you're interested at all in that, you might want to join us. I don't have the link yet. By tomorrow, I will have the link. It'll be in my community tab on my on my YouTube page, as well as I'll have the link in the description of the show tomorrow as well. But come join us for that. Now, the last 2 weeks, I've been on the Norwegian Joy, and it may end up, I haven't completely decided yet. I think it's probably the best cruise I've ever been on. All my years of cruising, even back in the day when I was doing a lot of groups. And of course, since, I've gone back to cruising January 28th, a year ago. This was my 27th cruise since then. It was, from start to finish, phenomenal. The ship was outstanding from a personal standpoint, from accessibility issues. Yes, there were a few things. There were parts of the ship that I could not access, like the racetrack or the slides. Yeah, me. I'm not going to get in a damn slide anyway. The laser tag. It's not so much that I couldn't get there because there's no elevator to those floors. The part that bothers me is there's a percentage of the ship that I can't access. Not that I would use it, but still, it's the issue. However, everything else pretty much about the Joy was fine. My room had, automatic doors. Outside, all I had to do was tap my key card on the wall and it opened the door. Inside, I had a push button to open to go back out. Yes, if it was a manual wheelchair, there was a slight little slope at the door to the balcony, but not as bad as other cruises I've been on. So it might be that someone in a manual chair wouldn't roll backwards while they're trying to get the door open, but there was a little slope there. I had no problem at all with my scooter around getting all over the ship. As a matter of fact, the scooter is still my preferred transportation on the ships. However, it's not the preferred transportation off the ships. My chair, which was wonderful on the airplane, in the airports, getting on the ship, all the check-in stuff, that was a piece of cake. But then I take over with the scooter until it's time for an excursion or get off the ship. The chair is far superior because I was able to take excursions for the first time, folks, in years. Most of the time, if you're on a scooter, there's just not accessible transportation unless you're willing to pay bazillions of dollars to go on excursions. I mean, they get expensive, $400, $500, $600 for an accessible excursion. I've never been able to afford that. So I bought the chair. It collapses down to 50 pounds. I can put it in and out of the trunk of my car, so it can easily go in the luggage compartment on a bus. It could go on a hop-on, hop-off tour. They've got a place for them. It can go in a van, in the back of a van. It just opens up tremendous opportunities for me that I haven't had. We had 6 ports of call. I was able to do 4 excursions, including it was almost 4.5 hour total hop-on, hop-off tour with a walk in Old Town, Cartagena, that was almost 3 hours. Now, I didn't walk. I did it in the chair. That's what I've been working on this morning. I'm going to get that posted today, folks. The Cartagena video will go live sometime today. So that part of it made the cruise a little better than most. Better than almost all. But still, what really was the icing on the cake to make this the best cruise I've ever taken was the people. Our group, and we had a relatively small group for this one that Mr. Bucket List and I hosted. They were just phenomenal. We married our group together with the folks that were coming to the Norwegian solo and single meetup. So we put the 2 groups together. We shared together groups going to dinners, groups going on excursions, groups going to the casino. Different people wanted to do different things with different folks, both from our group and from the others. Our group, a lot of them knew that Justin and I this was the first time we've done something like this. And yeah, I've done group cruises before, but this was a whole totally different ballgame for me. One, group cruises are people that generally I knew. And, it was me and them. Now I'm representing something way bigger than I am. So that put me in a little different situation. Not that I'm bothered about that at all. But we were new at this. Made some mistakes. We had such wonderful people in the group. They didn't mind sitting down and saying, okay, here's a suggestion, or you did this wrong. Let's so you'll know to fix it next time. And I can't tell you how much I appreciated that. And I think everybody on the cruise, on the group, knew that. As a result, I think there was a bond developed between all of us on that cruise that'll last forever. I mean, they were just terrific. I managed to eat at least one dinner with everybody in the 2 groups combined, at least once, and a lot of them multiple times. Of course, I had fun with Justin. Justin he's such a wonderful guy. I love him to death. Oh my goodness. He's so talented. His videos are so good. I pick his brain like crazy, which is a good thing. But all in all, it was just a fantastic cruise. I am so far behind on what I normally do on a cruise ship because, I mean, I was literally going all day and it's the night. I didn't do much night stuff because I was still trying to do the shows and stuff. So, I was up early. In the afternoon, where I normally would be working on videos or getting ready to post stuff, somebody would text me, "Hey, we're having a bite of lunch and an adult beverage. Come join us." "Oh, okay, I'll be right there." I did that all the time. So it was 12 wonderful days. Absolutely wonderful days. I got to do a couple specialty restaurants I normally don't, spend the extra money on. I had a drinks package, which I normally don't spend extra money on it. I had the Wi-Fi package was 150 minutes. I mean, that don't last me enough. So I had to buy the Wi-Fi package. It was the only real major expense I had all week. We had $50 per excursion credit. So every credit we booked, we got $50 back. So if it was let's say a $69 excursion, the dang thing cost me $19 to do something I wanted to do for years. It was just terrific. All right. Enough of the silliness. It was it was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful cruise. All right. The top story today, and this is a top story for me, and more than anything. Carnival Magic arrived in Norfolk without guests, having quietly repositioned after her last seasonal sailing from Port Canaveral. The ship then left Port Canaveral to sail north along the Atlantic coast, moving to her new home port, Norfolk, Virginia. Setting sail yesterday, the ship has now departed on its first sailing from what will be the longest ever Carnival cruise season from Virginia. The first cruise is a 6-night sailing to the Bahamas, visiting Nassau, Bimini, and Freeport, while also providing guests with a day at sea to begin the cruise and another to end the cruise, ideal for experiencing all the ship has to offer. The first itinerary is just one of several cruise vacation options the ship will offer from Norfolk through the next 5 months. Itinerary range from 4 to 10 nights with a variety of destinations. Shorter sailings are typically to the Bahamas. Longer sailings are offered for Eastern Caribbean itineraries, as well as one special Canadian New England cruise during the peak fall season, departing on October 14th. In total, Carnival expects to welcome 100,000 guests through Norfolk this year when Carnival Magic's 26 sailings are finished on October 27th. Carnival Magic will return to Florida in late October, homeporting from Miami at least through April 2025. Additional ships to homeport from Norfolk have not yet been announced, but Carnival Cruise Line is committed to offer new sailings from Virginia in the future. Good news for our folks from Norfolk. And I'll be back after this quick word.
Do you have a bad back, bad hips, bad knees, or any other mobility issues? Think about Zuiderdam. For scooters, walkers, wheelchairs, even oxygen needs, delivered right to your cabin. Zuiderdam for all your mobility needs on your upcoming cruise.
Man, that almost makes me want to get up and dance. Speaking of dancing, I did that on the cruise. Yes, I was in the scooter, but I did get up and dance on the scooter. It was quite fun. By the way, this, folks, was Carnival Magic down there in Norfolk. That's a pretty cool terminal, by the way. I have not sailed out of Norfolk. I have seen the terminal. That's going to be on the bucket list sometime this year. I promise you. All right, the next story has to deal with our friends at Princess. Princess Cruises is one of the most iconic cruise lines in the world. Revealed the name of its second sensational Sphere-class ship, the Star Princess. Come on, tongue. Star Princess, which will sail an inaugural season in the Mediterranean starting August 2025. Currently under construction at Fincantieri shipyard in Italy, Star Princess joins Sun Princess as the largest ships ever built for a princess, carrying 4,300 guests. The new ship is built on a platform that is distinctly different and unique to Princess Cruise Lines, designed to simultaneously embrace the Princess heritage while celebrating the romance of the seas by offering more dynamic outward views. While 20% larger than any of the line's existing ships, Star Princess design retains the more intimate settings Princess is known for, with a number of new and incredibly groundbreaking spaces, such as the Dome, a transformational entertainment venue inspired by the terraces of Santorini, the Next Level Piazza featuring a glass sphere, the See It to Believe It Princess Arena, a configurable, technologically advanced main theater that allows Princess to produce a variety of innovative entertainment concepts, and a majestic dining room positioned aft of the ship, which will deliver unforgettable views of the wake. The second Sphere-class ship will also offer a number of spectacular features with an array of exciting new food and beverage concepts, a magnificent expanded casino, two-story Lotus Spa, and mesmerizing entertainment headlined by Cirque Eloise. Guests also will love the expanded accommodations options with luxurious staterooms and suites, including the new Reserve and Signature collections. Star Princess also will showcase the exclusive Princess Medallion service that extends Princess leadership position in delivering exceptional personalized experiences. The new ship will be the second in the Princess fleet to be powered by LNG technology, and also is built with the most advanced sustainable innovations available. She debuts August 4th, 2025, sailing a 9-day inaugural Italy and Greece round-trip voyage from Civitavecchia. That's Rome, of course. All right. I'll be back with more after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. All right, the next story has to deal with our friends over at Carnival. Carnival line president Christine Duffy delivered the spring Boy, I'm having trouble with my tongue this morning. Delivered the spring commencement address to graduates of the Conrad M. Hilton College of Global Hospitality Leadership. Wow, that's a mouthful. At the University of Houston. In her address, Duffy emphasized the tremendous economic importance of the travel and hospitality industry, including how both large and small communities are impacted by tourism. Not only do all aspects of travel, hospitality, and tourism intersect with other fields, but at its core, the industry brings together families and friends, old and new, to create new memories and lasting moments. Duffy also emphasized how much travel matters and referenced the impact the global pandemic had on the industry. The pandemic showed us how important the freedom to travel is, she said. While the cruise industry was shut down for 16 months, most of the country and the world was faced with restrictions that severely limited the ability to travel. Sometimes it takes losing something to realize how important that something is. That's the words of Carnival President Christine Duffy. Throughout her address, Duffy emphasized the diversity of travel and hospitality industry and how it can truly take graduates anywhere. Duffy's career become the first woman president of Carnival Cruise Line has been long and varied road to travel that began not with a college degree, but as a travel agent in Philadelphia. Did you know that? I didn't. And I've been talking about her for years. That's pretty awesome. That's a good story from Carnival and Christina Duffy. All right. On the other side of the pond, had a little traffic tie-up. One of the most popular cruise ports experienced massive traffic congestion and lengthy delays over the weekend due to an extra unscheduled security check while 4 vessels were debarking and embarking guests. The delays at the Port of Southampton in the UK stretched well into the afternoon, and officials urged regional residents to not come into the city unless absolutely necessary. 4 ships docked at Southampton on Friday, May the 12th. An impromptu security check by Border Force, that's UK's Custom and Immigration Service, slowed passenger processing and created massive gridlock in the city. 4 ships from 4 separate cruise lines were in Southampton: Fred Olsen's Balmoral, P&O's Britannia, Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas, and MSC Virtuoso. The 4 ships added up to more than 28,000 people moving to and from the port area, in addition to local traffic and port employees. Traffic did not begin lightening until mid-afternoon. This would be when most of the debarking guests had already left the area, but many embarking travelers were already on board their respective vessels. While Southampton is the 12th busiest cruise port in the world by passenger count, with approximately 1.9 million passenger movements annually, the city does not usually have 4 large vessels docked simultaneously. With the increasing popularity of cruise travel, coupled with the ever larger cruise ships with higher guest capacities, it's likely that such traffic problems will occur with greater frequency in the future. Maybe that's not the best time to throw an unscheduled check on the cruise port, people. All right. The Grand Princess, I got some mixed opinions on this one, folks. Princess announced several significant alterations to its Trans-Pacific cruise scheduled for later this year. These changes result from necessary hull cleaning. Remember that? From the Grand Princess before arriving in New Zealand. Guests who have booked a Trans-Pacific cruise now have an altered itinerary with the cancellation of 2 interesting port visits and an extended stay at sea. Princess Cruises has informed guests booked on the Trans-Pacific cruise it has made several changes to the itinerary. The Grand Class cruise ship is scheduled for departure from San Francisco on September 26th. The updated itinerary for the Trans-Pacific cruise now includes an overnight stay in Los Angeles. The cruise ship will arrive at 11, depart Sunday at 8 p.m. Unfortunately, guests will not be able to go ashore during the service call for hull cleaning. Also, Princess Cruises said it had made the painful decision to cancel a call in Hilo, Hawaii on October 1st and Marella, French Polynesia, on October the 8th. The arrival and departure times for Papeete have been changed. The ship will now arrive at 9 on October 9th at 7 a.m. and depart October 9th at 5 p.m. instead of the original schedule of October 8th. Grand Princess will now arrive in Honolulu on October the 3rd at 9 a.m. and depart at 11 p.m. instead of the original October 2nd from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. To compensate these changes, they're giving them $200 in onboard credit. And of course, any of this excursions will be refunded in full. I fuss at cruise lines a lot about changing things. On the one hand, I had never heard about New Zealand requiring the ships to present a certificate of cleanliness before they can sail in their waters. They have to have the hulls cleaned. We had all kinds of issues when Australia's season opened with ships that had not done that. And they were refused to go into New Zealand waters. And this is with passengers on board. They had to go back into Australian waters, hire someone to come out and clean the boat, the bottom of the boat. At least Princess is looking ahead enough to have this done before they get there. So that's a plus to Princess. My fault with Princess is just like the constant changes of itineraries. Princess, you got your act partially together. Now you need to get it together so this is planned ahead of time. You know, when a ship is sailing to New Zealand, you schedule this without screwing up the itinerary you've already given out to people. That would be a real help. Just saying. All right. Probably my favorite ship, or at least one of them, pretty close to my favorite ship, is the Zuiderdam from Holland America. Excuse me. Drink of water. All right. The grand voyage of the Zuiderdam has come to an end. It concluded in Port Everglades this weekend, 128 days after it departed from port on January the 3rd. This is the first grand world voyage the cruise line has operated since 2020, and the 59th since the first world cruise departed aboard the Staten Dam, January 7th, 1958. During Zuiderdam's journey around the world, the ship visited 57 ports in 30 countries on 4 continents, cruised 35,651 nautical miles. Highlights includes funds raised for Bernard Nordkamp Center in Nambia, Africa. Blankets knitted by guests for Project Linus, and celebrating the company's 150th anniversary in Amsterdam with President Gus Torsha. Congratulations to the Holland America and the Zuiderdam. I looked real seriously at doing that. Real serious. And I decided, man, I can't take that much money out of my retirement fund. But boy, I was surely tempted, because I really did. I love the Zuiderdam. All right, now this is one, don't get your hopes up, folks. The Marella Discovery has started a series of 26 weekly sailings from Port Canaveral's Terminal 5, which will run until November. The first sailing from the United States was by the Marella Discovery, a division of TUI, United Kingdom and Ireland, and TUI World Group. Every week, roughly 1,500 British passengers will arrive on 5 flights from the UK before embarking on each cruise. Marella Discovery Captain Chris Douglas was presented with a plaque by Carnival Port Authority Commissioner Wayne Justice as a welcome to Port Canaveral. So don't get your hopes up, folks. They're not offering it to U.S. passengers. I don't understand that. That would have been a smart marketing move to fly over, instead of 1,500, fly over 1,000 passengers each week and extend it and open it up to 500 American guests that might want to sail on Tui and Marella. That would have been awesome to do. And now you're going to dangle a carrot in front of our nose and we're going to be fussing at you. I mean, this might start another war with England. I'm teasing, of course. But I would have jumped all over that, guys. The Marella Discovery and port, and we can't get on it. That sucks. All right, that's going to end the news portion of the day. Let's go over and see who is here in the chat room, probably fussing at me. We know you can probably hear the vacuum cleaner running out there. My housekeeper's here today. Mike's here, Dennis is here, Steve's with us, Cindy's with us. Hi, Cindy. Gretchen's with us. Katie's here. Everybody's speaking back and forth. Nikki's with us, and good morning to everybody. Chillie, what do you think about this new Sun Princess? Is it worth a try? I think so. I think both of them are worth going for. Yeah. I mean, I like Princess. I'm sorry, my scheduled cruise on Caribbean Princess I had to cancel, and I have not booked another one to replace that yet. But yeah, I would. I hope to, if I can come up with the right kind of deal, or if I can get, maybe I can entice Passions for Cruises USA solos to do that. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? But yeah, in a heartbeat, I planned on it. Nikki, any reservations yet? Sonny's with us. Hi, Sonny, down in Mississippi. I saw a nice 10-day Caribbean cruise in 2025 on the Sun Princess. I'm thinking about booking. Go for it, Steve. I would in a heartbeat. Nikki says, not yet. I've got one picked out, but getting the youngins in line is like herding cats. Yeah. Gretchen says, where did it go? Most of the saints. Okay. St. Thomas, St. Croix, St. Martin. Yeah. All the saints down there in the Eastern Caribbean. Nikki, can you jump on a last-minute short cruise before your family one? Sometimes last-minute deals are good. Joanne says, tardy to the party. That's okay, Joanne. We love you anyway. I have cruised on the old Sun Princess. Was that one I was on? I believe I was on the old Sun Princess too. At one time. That's been a long time ago. Gretchen says, I'm looking for the ABCs plus or minus St. Lucia. Well, I'll tell you what, I thoroughly enjoyed Aruba and Curacao. I did excursions on both. The excursions just made my cruise, folks. I can't tell you how excited I was to do that, and the people. Oh, my goodness. I had good times on all the excursions with all the people. The people were extraordinarily helpful. I didn't even tell you about, I did the walking tour in Old Town in Cartagena. It was a part of the hop on, hop off bus tour. So we get to the Old Town. The guy gets my chair out. I get in it. I start going on it. The hop on, hop off bus tour people sent, not that we have a tour guide, of course, for the walking tour. They sent another employee to go along with the walking tour just to take care of me in case I had any issues, had problems, curbs that you couldn't get over, all that kind of thing in Alton, which there were 2 minor ones, which I could have gotten over myself, but all I had to do was stand up and he put the chair right over him. And then we had one place, which I'll talk about on the video. We went to an emerald shop, and the tour guide said, Chillie, why don't you go inside and sit in the air conditioner? We're going to be here about 45 minutes. And I said, a little emerald shop? Are you sure? And he said, yeah, we'll leave him out here to take care of your chair. I said, okay. And it was hot. So I didn't mind going in air conditioning for a few minutes. It was like 104. So I went in and sat in the air conditioning. And he took care of my chair outside because there was a lot of street people. But it was the coolest place. I couldn't do this, of course. But you went into the back of the shop, and there were steps downstairs that go into the mine, to the emerald mine, and steps upstairs into the workroom where they cut and polish and stuff the emerald. So everybody on the tour got to go down or up. It was great. That's why it took 45 minutes. And then they did some shopping. So that was a neat stop. I sat there and flirted with the girls, the clerks, the salespeople. But yeah, it was awesome. But they sent an extra guy just to take care of me, just in case I had any problems. That was way out of the way, but I greatly appreciate it. Of course, I got a nice tip too. Border Force Southampton decided to carry out face-to-face interviews with returning cruise passengers. Normally, they're nowhere to be seen. Delayed disembarkation and had a knock-on effect. Yeah, it was a mess, that's for sure. I can't believe they pulled that on the busiest day they've had in Southampton, maybe ever. Do that when you got 2 ships in port. That was really dumb on their part, Mike. What do they ask in face-to-face interviews? I've never heard of that. Probably nothing of any importance. Where did you go? What did you buy? Did you lie on the form? There's not but so much you can ask when you're going through. Do you have a gun hidden in your shoe? I don't know. All right, and now here's another one, folks. I'm old enough. I don't have to take my shoes off at the airport now. I mean, what's up with that? I mean, that's great because I'd have trouble doing it now. But, I mean, if that one dude could bring a bomb in his shoe or what the hell ever he had in his shoe, walking an old, I was starting to say something I shouldn't say, an old grouch like me. That makes no sense. TSA, it really doesn't. I mean, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you don't make me take my shoes off anymore. But, oh well. It's funny, my very first cruise isn't until 2024, and I'm already planning the next one. Yeah, Steve, that's what happens when you're a cruise not like the rest of us. So I think they just want to see you. Yeah, that's true. Emily's with us. Hi, Em. Emily's going to the Philippines and get naked with a grass skirt and do a hula. Isn't that right, Emily? Oh, no, that's not in the Philippines. Oh, well. Teasing Emily, of course. 20 days until my MSC cruise. Awesome, Cindy. And Sonny says, that's funny, Gretchen. Good to see Chillie back safe and sound. Yeah, it was, boy, I tell you what, travel was a bear. So I got off the ship. The disembarkation went just really well. It was well done. There weren't the horrible lines that I've had on some. They timed it out very well. They did a nice job of both embarkation and debarkation. I got my picked up my luggage. Of course, I got a porter, and I actually got to the transfer buses to the airport probably like 30 minutes earlier than my appointed time. And I asked could I please have a bus that was empty so I could get the front seat as they started loading it. I can get up the steps. It's difficult, very difficult, but I could get up to the front seat, but there's no way in hell I could walk back halfway on the bus or back to the back of a bus. I would never make it. So they said, yeah, come over to this next bus and we'll set you up there. You can sit right behind the driver. So that's what we did. I got out of my chair. I folded it up for him. I crawled up the ladder. I sat behind the seat and rode to the airport. Got to Miami Airport. I got out. I wasn't thinking and went to the outside check-in. I can't check in my luggage outside because of the chair. I know that. So the guy says, oh, come on, I'll take you upstairs. So he closes his counter down. Well, there were other agents there doing the outside stuff, and takes me upstairs, and there's 8 million people in line. He takes me right up to the front. I'm the next person in line. So I check in. I go through TSA. I do all the stuff you got to do at the airport. I found roughly where my gate was. I stopped and had a tremendous lunch and a couple of adult beverages. I'm killing time. So by the time I got done eating, and I didn't want to get sloshed, I got to the gate area 3 hours before the flight. So I had to wait 3 hours. Well, that's okay. I did some rolling around, just checking things out, but 3 hours was better than those 12-hour ones the last cruise, 2 of them. So I did the 3 hours there. I get on the plane and fly from Miami to LaGuardia in New York. Don't ask me why. That's the way they booked it. So I got off in LaGuardia and had a 2-hour layover. Well, I had to, move to a different gate. But it didn't take much time. And I got back on got back on another plane and flew to Richmond. I got in Richmond at midnight. And then got my car and drove home. It's a 3-hour plus drive. Normally, it took me 4 because I was starting to get really tired. And I stopped for a couple, power naps. But I got in at 4 o'clock. So I was totally off the grid all day Saturday. I don't even think I turned my computer on. I may have gotten on the phone, but I was totally out of it. So, and I really wasn't a whole lot better yesterday, but I at least got some of my work done. I'm still so far behind. It's unbelievable. But anyway, yeah, it was tough travel, but I got home safe and sound. Same as airport arrival. Normally, cruise passenger just allowed ashore without even a passport check. Wow. Well, we at least have to go through a check of sorts. We have to take our passport out. And if they have facial recognition, you got to look in a camera. If they don't have facial recognition, the guy looks at the passport and hands it back to you. And that's it. So, Gretchen says, we look like what we are, America. Yeah. Hit that like button, everyone. I appreciate that, Steve. Yeah, I didn't say that, did I? By the way, folks, appreciate the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so and hitting the bell notification so you'll be notified anytime we go live or when a new video is posted. And there's going to be lots of video postings, folks. And blog posting too. Did you reach platinum yet with NCL? You'll get 2 extra specialty dining then. Love it. No. I think my December 2nd cruise, I'd go platinum, I believe. I'll have to look at the points again. Does NCL give you 2 if you're solo? I can't remember with NCL. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm getting close to platinum. I felt so knickered and on my last cruise, Carnival cruise. I love cruise lines where I can get drinks, Wi-Fi included, and really love the $50 shore excursion credit and specialty dining on NCL. Yeah, that was excellent. Like I say, the only thing of the perks, and I had all 4 perks, was the minutes, 150 minutes of Wi-Fi is not enough for me. So I had to go on and buy the Wi-Fi package. That was the only, I mean, my account at the end of the cruise was $500 and 396 of it was for the Wi-Fi. So I spent like nothing on the ship, including the excursions. I mean, nothing. Everything else was covered. Mike says, I'm very pleased about the excursions you were able to do because you had your chair. Seems to have done you the world of good. You're really animated. Look how, man, I'm telling you, Mike, I was so happy and pleased and proud of myself. Now, yeah, I don't want of my accessible community. These excursions were not accessible for everybody. You still have to be able to walk a little bit, to get up on a bus. These didn't have automatic ramps to get on the bus. You couldn't take the chair or a scooter on any of the buses without being able to walk a little. Now, yeah, not much, but a little. So for the total wheelchair or scooter bound community, they're not accessible still. Obviously, we're working on it, but not accessible for everybody. But they were for me, which was such a blessing and benefit on this cruise. Will I do that on other cruises? Maybe, I know I can do it now. So now I can start looking and say, oh, I'd really like to do that on the ones that, there's still lots of them that are clearly not accessible. For instance, the falls and the measure, the crazy D word in Dominican Republic. No way in hell I can do that. We stopped at the lighthouse in Curacao. I didn't even get off the bus. I can't. I could have taken a better picture, But that wasn't worth me struggling up and down the stairs on and off the bus and making the driver pull my chair out to go take a picture. I stayed on the bus and shot a picture out the window. I did get out at the beach and rolled around some. I couldn't roll out in the sand, of course, but along the walkways in the park, and I enjoyed that. So they weren't totally accessible. But anybody that's mobility challenged and not fully disabled, yes, it was awesome. Now, I still feel bad for my friends that can't do that, because that's the way I've been for the last 9 years. So, and one day we'll get there when we get accessible transportation for everybody in all these locations. One day. We got to keep working on it. Amtrak has a station in Norfolk. Yes, they do. The ZZZ Italianist presents TZ as in pizza. Yeah. Did I say something wrong? Piazza. Piazza. With an on, piazza. I thought I said that. I mean, my brain was telling me that I was doing that. Ship to shore cruise news. Good morning. Good to have you with us. MSC Virtuosa. Oh, Virtuosa. Virtuosa. Wow, boy, have I been slaughtering that one. Well, everybody does. MSC Virtuosa is the proper pronunciation. Amazing. Katie says, did we lose Chillie? Did we lose Chillie? Chillie is still on. I didn't think I got lost. Oh, Dennis says there's been some buffering, so I might be going in and out. Sorry about that, folks. I got no control over that one. Okay, then thanks. Katie says, I lost him again. Is there some weather down there, Katie? Katie, I did too just now. Emma's with us. Hi, Emma. Good to see you. Emma, of course, is my friend over there from the UK. Gretchen says, I love ABC, plus DR, the Dominican Republic, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, San Juan, and she has that on the Viva. Great itinerary. Yes, it is. Welcome, Emma. My husband loved your Le Havre video. Of course, we're going to Paris. Cool. Yeah, it was very kind. They sent another guy. That was just so awesome. And I tell you what, folks, to be able to go out and do a 3-hour walking tour, I mean, I never dreamt that was ever even going to be a possibility again. So, and yeah, I know I didn't walk, but I was out there with everybody. And it was fantastic. I don't know. I must have close to 1,000 pictures from this cruise. Well, you'll see when I put up the Cartagena one today. By the time I got back, the whole screwed up cruise with no camera, with no phone, I went to Cartagena, just a month ago, 6 weeks ago now. And I played with the sloth. I wanted to go back and play with the sloth again when I could record it. I was so damn hot and tired. I didn't even want to go look for the sloth. I wanted to get back on the ship and get cool and get something to drink. Because, 4.5 hours in 104-degree heat, that's more than I've done for a long time. And I was I'm still red-faced some. But yeah, it was awesome, guys. Just awesome. By the way, do we all have to take our shoes off for security? Yeah, everybody, but unless you're 75 years old. Is taxi still $25 from Port Miami to Miami Airport? Yes, it is. The airline transfer was $30. Uber, I did Uber, not taxi, and I think I paid $26 on Uber, but I get usually, especially with the wheelchair and luggage, some of the cabs going to fight about that. So I did Uber and got the little larger car. It will be quite in the Philippines. I am partially naked in my bathing suit. Naked Emily in the Philippines. I love it. $25 US, didn't it say. Book Wi-Fi as soon as possible for future NCL cruises. Prices keep going up as you get closer. Yeah, I know. I definitely need to go on and do that now for December 2nd. What about the other ships? Book Wi-Fi ahead as well. Well, probably it's not going to Piazza instead of Piazza. Okay. Thank you for correcting that, Dennis. Em, we always get Wi-Fi with a plus package on Princess. I'm just thinking maybe we should book without and wait for a better offer to upgrade, but maybe not. Yeah, the only problem with that, it runs a risk that what if you don't get the upgrade, it's going to cost you more on the back end. Sometimes the Wi-Fi is not enough, buy more. TSA note pre-check. Oh yeah, if you got the TSA pre-check, that's that's a different story. But that's where I don't know what, they give you some kind of test or something. I don't know. But anyway, all right, guys, good show. Sorry that some of you were having issues with the signal. So that's going to wrap me up for today. I'm here all week this week. I'm not sure about next week yet because I've got some other problems coming up, folks. I may end up having to dump my next cruise, but we'll see. I've got to check on a couple of things today. I do have an oncology appointment, which is the biggie, on Wednesday. So we got to make sure that I'm going to survive another 6 months. Not really worried about it. But that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. Thanks for being with me. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. And hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a fantastic day, everybody. See you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises. Do you have a bad